Hello, and welcome to this webinar about our Summer 2019 Study Abroad program in Florence, Italy. My name is Erin Kehoe. I'm the Study Abroad Coordinator here on campus, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to share some information with you today about this really awesome program. So as I go through the presentation, I will be giving a brief overview of what the program entails. I'll speak a bit about the academic side of things. I'll go over what our planned itinerary is, and then I'll get into some of the more logistical information. So a little bit about finances, health and safety, and then what the application requirements and process look like. As you'll see there, I have left time for questions at the end. But since this is an asynchronous presentation, if you do have any questions, I'll be providing you with my contact information so that you can reach out by email, and we can either set up a time to speak in person or by phone. So without further ado, as you may already know, this Summer Florence program is a short-term study abroad program. It is 3 weeks long and is, of course, based in Florence, Italy. And for short-term programs like this, you are traveling as a group with other LIM students, and you're also accompanied by an LIM faculty member. In this case, the faculty member is Professor Laurel Luters, who is an associate professor here on campus, as well as the chair of our visual studies department. This is the 4th summer that we've run this program, and the 4th summer that Professor Luters has accompanied our students and taught through this program. So she's really well experienced. She absolutely loves having the opportunity to take students to Italy, and she's excited about meeting you if you do decide to apply to the program. So for this particular program, successful completion means that students earn a total of 6 credits. 3 of these credits come through an art history course that you take with Professor Luters herself. These are 3 liberal arts elective credits. So this art history course was developed by Professor Luters specifically for the study abroad program. It's based on Renaissance art history, which of course was hugely important in Florence during the Renaissance, and so it's really the perfect place to go to study that subject. The other course that you take while you're in Florence is your choice of an elective class at Florence University of the Arts. So depending on the course that you select, this can either be a 3 liberal arts, worth 3 liberal arts electives, or 3 visual merchandising elective credits. The courses that are available for you to choose from include an Italian cooking course, a fitness course, a drawing and painting class, and an Italian language class as well. So all of those come back as liberal arts electives, with the exception of the drawing and painting class, which comes back as a visual merchandising elective. As you can imagine, because students who participate in this program are earning 6 credits in just 3 weeks, it is a pretty academically rigorous program. So the expectation is that your academics are your priority for this program. You know, we've put some work in to make sure that it's not an overwhelming amount of work, so that you are still able to get out and explore the city and to enjoy your time in Italy. That is a fundamental goal of the program, but we also don't want, you know, kind of free time, fun things to get in the way of the coursework that you're completing. So again, the expectation is, yes, our students will be excited about travel, ready to take advantage of being overseas, but also that they will focus on their coursework while they're abroad. One of the things that we've done to help ensure that our students do have a little bit more free time while they're actually in Florence is to have 5 required meetings on campus in the spring semester prior to departure. So these required meetings will give participating students an introduction to art history, as well as a really brief introduction to Italian language, so that when you do head to Florence, you already have that knowledge under your belt and you're ready to jump right into your coursework. Once we have our set group of students, we will work on scheduling these meetings, and we will get the dates and times to everybody who's participating with plenty of leeway, so that you have time to do things like you know, ask for coverage at work if necessary, or to plan your transportation into the city if you're a commuter. So everybody will get plenty of heads up about those, but they are a mandatory part of the courses that you're taking. So this is our planned itinerary for the program. On June 2nd, our group will check into their housing in Florence. On June 3rd, we have an orientation and a welcome lunch to help get you acclimated to the city. And then classes begin on June 4th and run June 4th, 5th, and 6th. Typically, you have your Florence University of the Arts elective class in the morning, then a break for lunch, and then Professor Luter's art history course in the afternoon. On June 8th, which is a Saturday, you will have a required field trip as part of your Florence University of the Arts elective course. These are day trips that each course takes outside of the city of Florence. It's really a fun way for you to get to gain, an understanding of a place outside of Florence that relates to the class that you're taking, and it's also just a fun way to get to see another city or town in the area. Then on Monday, June 10th through Thursday, June 13th, you'll have your classes again. You'll have a free weekend, and then Monday, June 17th through Wednesday, June 19th, again, you'll have your last few days of classes. On June 20th, we'll have a farewell dinner for our group, and then on June 21st, we will have checkout from housing and departure. So again, overall, the program runs a total of 3 weeks. We've included quite a few visits and activities as part of the program. Again, one of our goals whenever we're designing a study abroad program is to make sure that our students are able to really take advantage of where they are. So we don't want you to just be stuck in a classroom for 3 weeks listening to professors lecture. We want you to, yes, be learning, but be out and about and actually seeing the things that you're learning about in person. So in order to do so, for the art history portion of the course, we have included guided tours of the Uffizi, the Duomo, the Bargello, and quite a few other galleries and museums, as well as historical sites around the city. And we've also included several hands-on workshops. So that includes a fresco making workshop, a book making workshop, a leather working workshop, and then a walk/gentle hike to the Piazzale Michelangelo, which provides an absolutely beautiful view of the city. And our group also typically stops to get gelato during that walk as well, which is an important cultural component of being in Italy. As far as accommodation goes, all of our students are placed in centrally located apartments. As an LIM student, you're only ever placed with other LIM students. You'll never be with students from another school or strangers. Usually these apartments vary in size, so typically it's one apartment within a building, and likely most, if not all, of the other residents of the building will live there full time. So this is really a way for you to get a more immersive, authentic understanding of what it's like to actually live in Florence for 3 weeks. So again, these apartments can sometimes hold as few as 3 students, can sometimes hold as many as 6 or 8 students. Typically they're double bedrooms, but they do also have common living areas as well as full kitchens, which can be really helpful. The total program cost for the summer 2019 edition of the program is $5,300. This does include transportation to and from the Florence airport, as long as you are arriving and departing on the program start and end dates. Housing for the duration of the program, again, in centrally located apartments. Entrance to all of the cultural sites as well as the workshops that we have planned as part of the program. Some of your meals, international health insurance, and tuition for the 6 credits that you are earning as a program participant. So sometimes there's a bit of confusion from students who think, okay, I know that I have this program fee, and I know that it covers things like housing and museum entrances, but then will I also be charged by Student Financial Services for the tuition for these 6 credits that are going to appear on my LIM transcript? And the answer is no. The cost of the 6 credits is wrapped up in that $5,300 program fee. So that is all that you have to pay to LIM for this program and for earning 6 credits. The largest additional expense on top of the program fee is airfare. So students are responsible for their own air to and from Italy. And the reason that we've done this is that students in the past have asked for flexibility when it comes to choosing when they arrive and when they depart. So often students will opt to stay either in Florence or Italy or even Europe, either a little bit longer than the length of the program, or to arrive a bit early, do a little bit of sightseeing, and then come to Florence for their program. If you do decide to either come into the city or stay a little bit late, you would be responsible for your own housing for any dates that don't include the actual program itself. But it's extremely easy to find housing within Florence and just within Europe in general, whether you're looking for a hotel, a hostel, an Airbnb, there are tons of options out there. There is also the option to add an additional 3 credits to your program by opting to complete the 1-week Cultural Introduction to Italy piece, which would take place the week right before the LIM program starts. So you would arrive in Rome and then spend 1 week traveling from Rome to Florence with a group and completing this course at the same time. So the additional cost of the program of adding this piece would be $2,100, but again, that would give you an additional 3 credits over this summer as well, which would be liberal arts elective credits. So if you are thinking about taking that option when you submit your application, please let me know so that I can keep that piece in mind as well. So there are a few additional costs to consider outside of that program fee. Again, the biggest one being flights. There are also some small course materials fees. So depending on the class that you take, there may be some supplemental materials that you need to purchase. Students are also responsible for the field trip fee for that field trip that is a required part of their Florence University of the Arts elective course, which is about $90 depending on the program. And then your food for the 3 weeks that you're there. If you don't have a passport, you would need to get one. And then any shopping, entertainment, additional travel that you opt to do while you are in Italy. There are estimates available on the college's website for all of these things. So if you're kind of thinking, how can I budget for this? What's realistic? Go check out our website. That's a good place to get started with that. Because you are earning 6 credits over this summer term through this program, including the 3 credits with Professor Luter's art history course and the 3-credit elective at Florence University of the Arts, you are eligible for to apply financial aid towards this program. This really depends on your particular aid package and your eligibility. So if you are interested in learning more about whether your aid can apply and if it will apply, how much of it will apply, I strongly encourage you to speak with a student financial services counselor as soon as possible, even before you submit your application if you can, so that they can take a look at your package and tell you what that would actually look like. So just a very little bit about health and safety. Whenever I am either renewing an existing program or planning a brand new program, my #1 concern is making sure that our students are staying healthy and safe while they're abroad. So one of the ways that we do this is that we require all of our students to have health insurance for the duration of their program overseas. For this particular program, we include international health insurance in your program fee, so you don't need to purchase anything supplemental or in addition to that, you're already covered. We also have quite a few kind of more behind the scenes procedures and policies in place to keep our students safe. If you are accepted to the program, we will talk quite a bit more about all of these in detail. But just to give you an idea, one of the things that we do is we partner with an international travel risk management organization called International SOS. Basically, the college pays a membership fee with International SOS and then passes those membership benefits on to all of our student travelers. So if you're accepted to the program, you'll get an International SOS membership card, and you'll be able to use that as a resource both before you depart and while you're abroad. And again, we'll speak more in detail about what that resource can actually do for you. We also train all of our faculty leaders prior to departure so that they are briefed and ready to respond to any emergency scenarios that could come up. And we also discuss safety and security abroad at a mandatory pre-departure orientation that all students are required to go to. So all of our travelers are well prepared before they even depart the US. Now, the requirements to apply to this program are relatively straightforward. They're that you be in good academic and financial standing, basically that you have no holds on your SONUS account, and now is a great time to check that because registration is coming up, so you do want to make sure that you don't have any holds on your account anyway. The GPA recommendation for this program is a 3.0. That is not a hard cutoff though. We have had students who have participated in the program with a lower GPA. But again, because it's a pretty academically rigorous program, we want to make sure that all students are committed to uh, really focusing on the academic components of the program and taking that seriously. So that's the reason for that recommendation. However, if you do have a lower GPA and you are still really passionate about the program, I would encourage you to still submit your application. It kind of can't hurt, and if the other components of your application are really exemplary, you might still be accepted. Other than that, as far as class standing goes, you do need to be a current student here at LIM this fall 2018 semester, and stay a full-time student in spring 2019 as well. And this particular program is only open to undergraduate students. The application deadline for summer 2019 is Thursday, November 1st. You can actually submit the application at any time. It does not have to be by 5 p.m. And the application itself is available on the website. So it's a downloadable PDF form that you can save to your desktop and then fill out. And when you complete that application form, you will email it to me to submit it, along with an essay that you'll write. And there are more instructions on the application form about what I'm looking for in the essay. And once you've submitted those things, I will schedule a short one-on-one interview with you as well. So really the main factors that I look at when I'm reviewing each student's application are their essay, the interview, and then their cumulative LIM GPA. If you are a first semester student and you don't yet have a GPA here, what I will likely do is reach out to your current professors to get a sense of how your classes are going for you so far and how your academic performance has been. For this particular program, we do have limited spots available. We really want to make sure that each student is getting an immersive firsthand experience. So that really means that we keep our group small so that each student can, for example, get up close and see each of the artworks that we're speaking out when we're visiting a gallery or a museum. When I look at each applicant, I rank each one on the quality of their essay, their interview, and their GPA. Those are the factors. In addition to submitting your application to me, you'll also submit an initial deposit of $375 to Student Financial Services, so please do not submit that to me. You can either pay by cash or check at the SFS offices in the townhouse, or you can pay online using the regular online payment system that you would use to pay your tuition, for example. So this initial deposit serves a couple of purposes. Number one, it shows me that you are serious about your application and about the program. And number two, it also serves as your first payment towards the program fee. So if you are accepted to the program, that $375 will go towards your program fee for the expense of the program. If you are not accepted to the program, or if you're offered a spot but you ultimately decline that spot, then you would get refunded that $375. So you get to essentially keep it either way. I've mentioned our website a couple of times. It really is a great place to get more information about all of our programs. If you Google LIM College Study Abroad, we're the very first thing that comes up, or you can search for us from the main page of the college website. If you scroll down, you'll see that there are sections available for each country, which reiterates for this particular program a lot of the information that I've mentioned today. But there's also a page on there, for example, that's directed directly at parents and family members, so that can be a really great place to send family if you're speaking with them about study abroad and they have questions about the program. So I typically like to have students come in and speak about their study abroad experience when I do an information session. Because this is an online format, I'm not able to do that, but I wanted to provide some quotes from students who have participated in this particular program in the past to give you an idea of what their experience was like. So one student said, "My overall study abroad experience was amazing. I absolutely loved all of the activities and visits, so I wouldn't want to change anything. The overall program was intense, it was nonstop at times, but every second was worth it." And another student said, "This was honestly the best experience of my life. I had a blast and I learned so much. I wouldn't change one thing about my experience because I had the absolute best time, and every day since I left, I just want to go back and do it all over again." So that is everything that I have for you today. As you can see, here's my email address, aaron.kehoe@limcollege.edu. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions that you might have, whether it's kind of more general information about the program, something specific about your particular situation, something that just wasn't clear from this presentation, please feel free to reach out. And again, just keep in mind that if you do decide to move ahead with your application, that application deadline is November 1st. So just make sure that you have everything turned in on or before November 1st. And I hope that you do decide to submit an application. This really is an awesome program. Our students have really great feedback every year. And I'm excited to potentially get to know you as you prepare to go to Italy this summer. Thanks once again. Talk to you soon.